Hey, look here. If you got that millionaire dream and you start from scratch, like your parents ain't got the $1 million, your grandparents ain't got it, you ain't got nobody that can give it to you, that $1 million dream gonna take time. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time for you to figure this thing out. And I ain't talking about the $1 million at 65. I'm talking about them $1 million somewhere in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. Like, how can you get to it? Now, if you get it in your 20s, you probably an athlete. You get it in your 20s or younger than that, you're probably on YouTube balling, Facebook balling, TikTok, and you done took off balling. Like, but if you trying to do your life in a way that has never been done, it's gonna take time. Because most likely, you look around, it ain't nobody you can call on to tell you how to get to it. Because ain't nobody got to it. Now, if they getting it in the long run and they get it in their 60s, that's great. But you know that's probably the job mixed with retirement, mixed with some investments. But how can you get it before then? How can you work your way to $1 million in a year, or $1 million in a month, or $1 million in a week, or $1 million in a day? It's going to take you learning. You going to have to learn some stuff. Whether it's you learning on YouTube, whether it's you learning reading books, whether it's you learning by experience. And matter of fact, you probably going to need all three of them. Because on this journey that I'm seeing, you can increase, but you got to know what to do with the increase. You got to know what to do to keep the increase coming. And one thing I am learning, that a lot of people that get the millions, they create. Whether they create classes, whether they create books, whether they create product or build a business like a store or something, they are creating. They are not waiting for it to happen. They're going out to create. And again, all of it take time. You got George Jenkins who built Publix, right? Publix was built right here in Polk County. I don't know if y'all know what Publix is, but it's a grocery store. And he built that in Polk County. And he took it one day at a time. Got one store going. Think after that, maybe added another. Taking his time, adding another. It wasn't like he just did it and boom. And he was that guy like that. It took time. I even believe with Walmart, with Sam Walden. He had one store. Then he took a while before he added the second store. Because you got to master something. You got to get into a lane and master that thing. You got to decide you can be a millionaire. Like, you got to decide I can have more than I have right now, and I'm going to go get it. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, but it's well worth the try. It's well worth you taking risks that's calculated. Not a risk that's going to mess your whole life up, but a calculated risk. If I spend more time here, and here, doing this, and this, it advanced me that much more. But a lot of people just come home and have lip service. I want this, I want that, yada, 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 and they talking. But it's the ones who's working and don't give up, don't quit, and just keep riding that thing out and keep figuring out what it is. Okay, that word. I add that word. Okay, that word. And then you growing closer and closer. You changing your income year after year. You growing it. Jennifer, what's happening? Kimberly, what's good? Listen, the dream, the $1 million dream takes time. It's not easy. And then check this. When you building this dream, you most likely gonna be on this journey by yourself. Because ain't nobody else done it. And if they have, you'd already be asking them questions. And if they're an athlete, you can ask them questions, but you kind of got to figure, you going to be operating in the entrepreneur world. And you're going to be needing to get advice from people who done been there, done that. That's where books come in handy. That's where YouTube comes in handy. That's where TikTok and all these other videos giving you people who's been there, who's giving you their stories, telling you how to get there. And then you're going to need favor from God. You're going to need him to bless that. So while you on this journey, you're going to need him to bless your mindset, bless the way you talk, bless the way you act, bless the way you think. You're going to need more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, because this journey ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak. You got to be looking at it as and seeing this thing so big, it ain't just about you. You want to bless your kids. You want to be able to bless your kids. Like, y'all really, when my kids get ready to buy a home, I want to have enough money, or I done taught them along the way. God done showed me what I need to operate them in, or the avenue they need to take, where we buy the house cash instead of making these 30-year mortgage or 20 or 15 or, trying to figure it out without getting hustled. It's a hustle game out here. Everybody trying to hustle when they trying to win. And I ain't talking about the people who trying to win honest. I'm talking about the people who don't matter how they gather that money and they just want to rake it in. Because you got companies that got billionaires at the top. They don't have to have billions. They can funnel that down back into their employees and have that thing rolling. But then I thought about this too. You could give the employees a raise and they'll find a way to complain about that. So I guess it's just really, it's up to the person to decide what their life want to be. That's what it's going to come down to. What do you want your life to have? I was telling my baby sister today, I said, man, her or my business partner, I said, look, people just be wanting just enough for them. I think that's selfish. Because you should want enough to be able to bless others. You got to be a blessing. Yeah, you can be a blessing with talking. You ain't got to be blessing financially. But if you can have more than enough, you can be a blessing financially. And every other way possible. But, y'all, that's that. I just want to holler at y'all about that. Ms. Johnson, you said round 3, blessings to you. Have a plan. Got to. Hey, I'm locked in. Because if I work, I know it's working. Hey, Peter, what's happening? Hey, blessings to y'all. Holla, holla, holla.